A small harbor town and a light on the pier that has not turned in 11 years. The words stay simple, so just listen. Listen out for the one thing nobody had checked. Cast off. Myra pushed the door at the top of the tower. It opened. She had brought a hammer to break the lock. There was no lock. In 11 years, nobody had even tried the handle. Inside was a small round room with glass walls. In the middle stood the harbor light of Kelby Cove, a lamp the size of a bucket on a wide black ring. Everything was gray with salt. Myra was 19. She had looked up at this tower all her life and never once been inside. Down on the pier, Call was fixing a fishing net in the sun. 11 years, he said without looking up. The parts for that light do not exist anymore. Everyone said the same. But nobody could say what was broken. When you can name exactly what is wrong, we say you can put your finger on it. In 11 years, nobody had put a finger on anything. Myra wanted the real cause. She wanted to get to the bottom of it. She carried her grandfather's toolbox up the tower stairs. She began by taking the light to pieces. Every part went onto a wide board on the floor in the order it came off. When you write something down so that you will not forget it, you make a note of it. Myra made a note of every screw. She made a note of which way each little wheel faced. None of this was clever. It was slow. Try, fail, try again. In English, we call that trial and error. Myra had a whole autumn of trial and error ahead. Let's stop the story for our first 4 phrases. 1. Get to the bottom of something, to find the real cause of a problem, not just the surface. 2. Put your finger on something, to name exactly what is wrong. Something is odd about this room, but I cannot put my finger on it. 3. Make a note of something, to write it down so you do not lose it. And 4. Trial and error, trying, failing, trying again until something works. Most real skill is built by trial and error. Now back up the stairs. Under the salt, the machine was in better shape than the town believed. The big ring needed cleaning, not replacing. One wire, deep at the back where nobody would ever look, had gone green and soft. She cut it out and made a new one from her grandfather's box. After 3 weeks, she could open the lamp in the dark. She had got the hang of it. She had learned to do it well. On a bright Tuesday, she turned the ring by hand. The lamp lit. The beams swung out across the water. By hand. Now she wanted it working on its own, up and running, as we say. That night she waited on the pier. The tower stayed black. She checked it all again. The wire was good. The ring turned. By day, the lamp lit every time she turned it on by hand. By night, it never came on by itself. It would have been easy to stop. Her hands hurt, the evenings were cold. When you keep doing something slow and hard, you stick with it. Myra stuck with it. 11 nights on the end of the pier, a hot drink and a notebook on her knee. Every night she made a note. The time, the weather, the sky. Nothing. On the 12th night, she read back through her old pages. 3 winters before, a storm had knocked out the power across the town. And there, in her own small handwriting, Harbour light on, 20 minutes. She had made a note of it as a girl, and thought nothing of it. On the tower wall was a small round piece of glass. People called it the eye, a switch that could see. When the sky went dark, it turned the lamp on, so the lamp did not need the town's power. It needed the town's light to be gone. Myra climbed up in the dark to see what the eye faced. The tall white lamp on the quay, the long stone wall where the boats tie up, lit all night, put up the same spring the light stopped. For 11 years, the eye had been staring at a lamp. It believed the sun never set. She had got to the bottom of it, and the answer had been staring her in the face, right in front of her the whole time. She turned the eye a hand's width out towards the open sea. It took 4 minutes. 4 more phrases. 5. Get the hang of something to learn to do it well through practice. Give it a week and you will get the hang of it. 6. Stick with something to keep going when it is slow or hard. Myra stuck with 11 cold nights. 7. Be staring someone in the face to be right in front of you and easy to miss. I looked all over the house for my keys, and they were on the table, staring me in the face. And 8. Up and running, working properly again. A machine, a shop, a computer, anything can be up and running. Now, Dusk. She waited on the pier while the sky went from gold to gray to nothing. Out at sea, a boat was coming in. At 20 to 7, the lamp came on. The beam swung out over the water and back and out again, one turn every 8 seconds. The harbor light of Kelby Cove was up and running. Out on the black water, the boat changed heading and came in along the channel. Nobody called out. Nobody clapped. Myra stayed all night. At dawn, the water came up gray, then gold, and the lamp went out by itself. That was the part she liked best. She had not touched it. She looked down at her hands. Black to the wrist, cut across 2 fingers, steady. Not clever hands working hands. She knew now what they could do. Let's go back over it in order. A tower nobody had opened in 11 years, and a door with no lock. A town that agreed the parts were gone, though nobody could put a finger on what was broken. A whole autumn of trial and error, and a note made of every part. Then a lamp that lit by hand, 11 dark nights on the pier, and an answer in her own old handwriting that had been staring her in the face for 3 winters. Now a question, and it is not about the story. Myra got to the bottom of it because she wrote things down. What is one small thing in your week you could make a note of for 11 days running? Answer out loud in 1 full sentence. 4 minutes. After an autumn of work that made those 4 minutes possible. For your English, try this instead of a plain second listen. Take the 8 phrases and put them on your own hands. Say what you got the hang of this year. Say what you stuck with. Say what was staring you in the face. Phrases you have said about your own life come back far faster. A new story goes up every week. Subscribe and you will not have to come looking for it. Until then, go and look again at the thing you stopped looking at.